Jeremy Jędrzejkowski, welcome to Rzeczpospolita TV studio at the Economic Forum in Karpaczu. And together along with me, is Dr. Justus Wolff, Management of AI in Diabetes and part of EU focus group on AI implementation. Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon.
It's a very interesting new area of technology, growing very rapidly, very fast. There is an enormous hype concerning the AI technology in the virtual any discipline or any industry. You specialize, among others, in AI use in healthcare. Why, when, and how can we use AI to improve healthcare? And does it apply to a specific dimension, or rather all aspects like clinical, regulatory, therapeutic, pharmacoeconomics, etc.?
Yeah, thank you very much that I can be here. So my background actually for many years is AI in healthcare. So I focused on this specific niche. I did my PhD in experimental bioinformatics. So I published a lot about how can we actually use AI in healthcare, but I also really worked on very large projects of AI implementation in healthcare. We all know that AI is a huge growth driver in many industries. So it can be automotive, manufacturing, so it's across industries. But I do think that AI in healthcare has very specific advantages in the implementation and also for human mankind. So if we look at the current processes, healthcare is still one of the domains where we have a very, let's say, low to moderate level of digitization. Yeah, a lot of the processes are still very, let's say, in an old school fashion managed, may it be the documentation or may it be really the work in the medical units, the hospitals, the ambulant care settings, and so on. And we all know that we have huge challenges in healthcare systems. So we have increased costs in almost every country. We have more and more people that need healthcare support, and we have reduced medical staff. So in some countries, also in Europe, we have not enough medical staff to cover all of these people. So actually AI is a huge opportunity to tackle these challenges and be more efficient and actually support the population where it's most needed. Yeah.
You mentioned the tremendous potential of AI to rationalize healthcare resources or to avoid wasting it. So how would it like in practice?
I mean, we have some very specific cases in practice already and some that are now upcoming. So what we already have are things that are maybe not so medical, for instance, documentation processes, support when you just have to do the coding of patients or when it's about reimbursement and so on. So very documentation, administrative tasks. But then we also have AI support tools already that recognize diseases that maybe the human person has not recognized. Not only because it's very hard to recognize diseases, but because we have not so much time. You have maybe one or 2 minutes per patient and then the next patient comes. So it's very hard to actually detect all sorts of diseases. So AI has now specific diagnostic and therapeutic support functions. I give you some examples where it's already very well implemented is in imaging. So when you have images like an MRI or a CT scan and so on, the AI looks at the image and actually has been trained on many thousands of pictures before, and then it recognizes specific patterns and actually says like, oh, here in this patient, I see at least the hint of a disease, and then the physician can decide if this is true or not. But so there are concrete support functions in imaging. What is maybe new also as a bit of an outlook, where I'm working also a lot in, is not only imaging data, but really longitudinal data. So you take really the patient's history over many, many years and say what patterns are visible over the long run, and then the AI is trained with that and then recognizes basically when you develop specific diseases so you can early intervene.
Apart from the hype I mentioned at the beginning of our interview, there is also so much confusion and anxiety concerning AI replacing humans. Even top experts in different fields, like specialized clinicians.
Yeah.
What is your view on this topic?
I mean, I think it has been in the past. There were some sentences about maybe AI replaces a human being. From my personal point of view, I mean, I'm working there now many years. Yeah? So from my point of view,
You are not replaced.
and I'm not replaced. I'm not replaced at all. And I do think that AI works with the human, basically, staff along. And actually, there's no way around it. The train has left the station already. So AI is here to stay. It's not that we can decide if it now comes or not. It's a technological innovation that is now there and it will stay. The only question is, how do we deal with it? How do we actually implement it in our daily routines? So I don't think that AI replaces jobs. Of course, our way of working will be adapted, but we rather have to find new ways of how we collaborate, basically, with AI in our routines. So I can just give you concrete examples. This diagnostic support that I just mentioned, I have a lot to do with AI and diagnostics. So how can we early diagnose a patient, maybe way before that he or she or even the physician realized that? That's just a support function for the physician. So, and then the physician decides, okay, I actually follow up on that. I do lab examinations. I actually maybe change the therapy on that. But it's really a support tool right now. And that's why I do think it has actually a very steep now implementation curve in the short run.
Thank you. Challenges regarding using AI in healthcare. Dr. Justus Wolff, expert on that topic, was talking about. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for your remarks.
Thank you very much.